Welcome to the third episode of the weekly traditional, every single time, the long-running tradition that we have around here of the weekly Path of Exile news, where we go over the interesting things that have happened in the past week, either from Twitter, Path of Exile themselves, or Reddit, or similar, anything that's interesting. And this week is a good one. You know, we had some really big events with them announcing the league start, talking about certain things, what they're doing with the content from 3.18 Sentinel League, as well as the Zizaran X Shopify Gauntlet. But I think this was a great way to start off this is the number one most upvoted post on Reddit for Path of Exile in the past week. The old, my parents at age 20, let's have a baby, yes. Me at age 20, ha, skill trees go burr. It's always interesting looking at how we choose to spend our time versus our parents. I don't think it's any objectively worse. I think it's just always funny to contrast that. Reflect on that and make your own conclusions as you will. But I think this one was pretty funny and, you know, obviously resonated with a lot of people because this is the most upvoted post in the entire past week. As we like to talk about trade pretty often here, I think that this is, I always want to like call attention to specific warnings and pitfalls that can befall you, or wading through the muck that may be the Path of Exile trade economy. What is happening here is someone has a bow. They're in standard league, so the prices are very high. Someone has a bow that they have listed for 250 exalts. Someone whispered them and said, "Up your price." And he was like, "Nani?" And he said, "Your bow is worth at least 350 to 400x. And the guy's like, "I've had that listed for like a while now, and I didn't get a single whisper." And the guy's like, no, raise your price. Definitely raise your price. And then at the end, he was just like, you know, basically, screw you. I can't talk to you. Tough luck. You won't find this too often in softcore trade, but basically what's happening is the guy had a bow and was trying to sell it, didn't sell, lowered the price, and he probably put it under the price of this other person, and the other person is invested. This is actually a very good lesson in price fixing in real life. This is a thing that is illegal, but still that does happen, and you'll see this most commonly with like internet providers, especially in the United States, where they will collude to make sure that the price doesn't get lower. They basically have a gentleman's agreement that they won't lower the price, and then they can keep the price artificially inflated, even though that the supply versus the demand would traditionally dictate for, capitalist competition, the price should get lower. But, this is where regulation can actually be good for capitalism, right? Because the companies will do sketchy things behind closed doors and try to keep the price high. And that's what this guy is doing, is he doesn't want to sell his bow for that low amount. And he's like, keep your price high. Don't lower it. Watch out for people like this. Your item is your item. Sell it for what you want to sell it for. Let the market, the market will let you know. If your thing didn't sell at 350 and this guy's saying, no, it's definitely 350. It's not, right? It's only worth what someone is willing to spend. So always be aware of that. Be careful of people that whisper you and are a bit like, a bit fuzzy like that. How is Gauntlet going for everyone? This was the third highest post in the past couple weeks. You probably know the Gauntlet started this past Friday. Honestly, I think, my own impressions of it is I had a lot of fun compared to the previous Gauntlet, and this was my most successful run so far. My problem is, I got to tier 1 maps. I died very quickly because I didn't want to prepare. I just wanted to zoom forward, and I got clipped by some annoying stuff from a Merveil statue. If you played any previous Gauntlet, it would just be like, hey, +2 proj, plus 50% damage, double AoE since the beach, right? Like you would start off with all of those mods. They were able to do something this Gauntlet where there are progressive mods. So act 1 through 5 was only like 10% damage and +1 proj. Acts 6 through 10 were like 20% damage and a little extra speed. And then when you hit maps, then it hit I think there was even like red, like white, yellow, and then red maps as well, or something like that. And yeah, you hit +2 proj when you hit white maps, and then even more damage as you went beyond that. And that was really nice. I think it really eases you in and lets you kind of scale up your character. Because as we all know, Act 1 just straight up is the hardest act in the game. I mean, I would say that like the bosses in Act 8 and Act 9 are a little scary. Act 10 is like honestly a breather after Act 8 and 9. Act 1 is like on that difficulty because your character has absolutely nothing. And being able to ease into it was way, 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 way better. But Dodri here is something that kills a lot of people. I think a lot of people actually don't know how she works, and this image is actually pretty good for demonstrating this. Dodri shoots physical projectiles. She also has plus proj in the Gauntlet. If you're too close to her, she'll shotgun you. And what these circles on the ground mean, apologize if you're colorblind. This would be an impossible encounter if you're colorblind. The red circle is a vulnerability curse. The green circle is enfeeble curse, and the purple circle is a temporal chains curse. So when I fight Dodri, I just, and they rotate around as well, so you have to pay attention. But I just try to stand in the green circle, and you want to stay outside the overlap, right? It's 3 circles that are overlapping. Just try to stand in the green circle. Be patient. You can use the pillars to block her projectiles as well. Tougher if you're melee, of course. Don't stand in the red circle. You should be okay. I don't find her particularly scary as long as you always pay very close attention to that. And I think that's a good thing to call out. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't actually know the mechanic for that fight. We've had a lot of people in chat, especially in the past week, that have said that, they actually gave Gauntlet a try, or this was the furthest they've ever been in the Gauntlet. And I think the changes that they made were very, very cool. And I'm glad that they did that. My one request for the Gauntlet would be to make it not a class competition, but an ascendancy competition. I don't know if that would, my suspicion is that if they did that, right, like the rewards would be way too spread thin. People would, they would gravitate a little bit too much. They'd be like a little bit too strategizing for like, finding like the off meta ascendancies. But especially due to the competitive ascendancies in the game right now, they're way too strong, Saboteur especially, and then Detonate Dead and, EA Ballista Champion, right? Those are so strong that you're like, kind of stupid if you want to compete. You can't basically play like Gladiator, right? Like Gladiator would just be, if you wanted to compete, be stupid. Same thing, playing Assassin or Trickster would be like really, really stupid if you wanted to have a chance of like placing with your ascendancy, right? And like that, I'm sure there's a very good reason for it. Probably just too thin on the rewards there, but that it does feel bad with the game balance. But my thoughts on the Gauntlet so far, and I think it's cool. This is the best Gauntlet that I've participated in so far, and the best that I've done as well. So I think that's pretty awesome. Speaking of the Gauntlet, this is I'm Exile winning the Gauntlet at the very end here. It's crazy how good him and Ben Lady Darky are at this game in terms of like just playing super, super optimally, super efficiently. I think this was Sunday night. Right, the Gauntlet started Friday, like late Friday, and I think this was Sunday night that he completed Uber Maven, beat the Gauntlet, he won, and you can still play the Gauntlet, and you can still get your class rewards and go for the other bounties, but in terms of completing the Gauntlet and taking first place, he did that. They went hard. They did not sleep very much, and props to them. They earned their rewards. Normally this isn't something that I would show in the weekly news, but this is, for me, a very particular sticking point of something that I would love for GGG to change. If you don't know, if you click, and I can demonstrate this very easily with a wisdom scroll here. So if you click, it'll bring up the destroy or keep menu. And herein lies the rub. If you press the enter key, it confirms and deletes your item. Deleting your item should not be the default when that happens. That is just bad UI UX. Please, GGG, make it so if I click enter, it keeps the item and it undoes it. And I don't know, maybe I have to press D or something to destroy. I've never deleted an item this big, but I've accidentally deleted items in the past because of that. It's just bad. It's just bad. And I think that needs to be changed. Or just make enter do nothing, right? Just make enter do literally nothing. Look at this, right? What happened is he has an insane item, right? He's in the Gauntlet. He has an insane helmet, pig face bassinet, hybrid armor evasion. He's got spell suppression, armor, T1 life, T1 res, double T1 res. And he very quickly, right? He's clicking too quickly, right? He's just going too fast. If we watch this in like super slow motion, he clicked right there. You can see where he clicked. Right there. You can see he clicked when the mouse was right here. And then he brings it over here, and then he like pressed enter to, you know, open up chat because he wanted to chat to someone. And yeah, that was a mechanical misplay, technically. Normally, this isn't something that I would show, but for me, this is very, very bad. And I would love GGG to change that. Will Sentinel become a core mechanic in Path of Exile? No. We don't need to read that. The answer is no. The one unique thing that they say here is the existing ones will still exist. You know, they'll go to standard just like Eternal Orbs, but they do call out. In all of Sentinel is not going core. Not the Sentinels themselves, nor Recombinators. The one thing they do say is they will warn you if they change Recombinators. If and when we do so, they will likely change their function. So whatever they change, whether making it not work with corrupted items, not working with mirrored items, anything like that, they will change it such that, you know, it will also be retroactive, you know, not work like they currently do. If you care about making money right now, the most important thing to do would be to hoard those things like crazy. You know, probably one of the best ways to do that is if you haven't seen Pelstrin's Glacier strat, Sentinel and Go, yeah, 142,000 views. Most people know this video. Definitely check this out. This is one of the best ways to just farm a bazillion Recombinators. You could, I think in his most recent video, he showed that he, in just like a number of hours, and not too many hours, he farmed like, yeah, look at this, 200 of each type. And currently, the price just keeps going up. So selling them in bulk right now, you can just straight up pull dozens and dozens of exalts. So if you're still playing this league, or you're planning on getting rich in standard, and you want to, you know, make that jump, this, you know, I would do this strategy. You know, prioritize going for Sentinel rewards on your Sentinels, and then you can get rich if you care about the rest of the league or standard. This is breaking news. Wee-oo. Absolute breaking news. We just got this a few minutes ago. We did get a tweet a couple days ago saying that the planned release date for 3.19 was going to be August 12th, and that would have been perfect for me. Unfortunately, I'm planning something on the weekend of August 20th, and they pushed it a week. So the actual release date here will be 3.19 on August 19th. So they pushed that a week. So if you are working on your 40 out of 40 challenges, you want to push anything like that, anything else in the game, that 3.19 will be there. So plan accordingly. Plan your vacations and your schedules and everything. I gotta call my friends that were planning on coming up that weekend and reschedule myself or figure out what we're gonna do, because I'm gonna be there. I want to continually call attention to the really cool non-traditional stuff that people are doing in Path of Exile. And someone made a Temple of Time from Ocarina of Time hideout. Oh, and I thought it was really, really cool that they did this. Let me see, that's going really slowly. Yeah, it's like a slow little walkthrough. But yeah, it's very Path of Exile-y. But if you are familiar with the Temple of Time and Ocarina of Time, it evokes a little nostalgia, and it's really cute. And I thought that was pretty cool. And I definitely, whenever I see a hideout in the top Reddit posts in the past week, I do want to call out like the standout ones, because I think it's just really cool. There is something to kind of go along with your, oh, there's the Master Sword, very cool. Part and parcel, hand in hand with the just the straight up objective systemic power fantasy. There's also, you gotta look good. You need the, you gotta drip or drown, and we gotta be walking on water. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and there's a whole community Discord, and there's beautiful hideouts that people are making, and I want to keep highlighting those. That is the weekly news on the third episode of the Path of Exile weekly Reddit recap, Reddit all news recap.